Good morning, welcome, hi, and welcome again to our show. It's lovely. It is beautiful outside here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am bringing you new topics. This week, instead of talking about something deep and meaningful, we're going to talk about sports. There's been quite a few pieces of news of sports, and so we are here to bring it to you. Let me bring to you who we have to speak about these things. My name is Jeff Wheeler. I'm down here in the shadow of the Gold Dome, down in lovely downtown Atlanta, Georgia, and I will bring to you my most astute colleague, Tom Holmes. Say good morning, Tom.
You missed your chance to say, and in this corner,
And
wearing
in
the
this
white trunks,
corner,
hailing from Atlanta, Georgia, Jeff Wheeler. And his opponent, wearing the green hat and weighing in at 170-something pounds, from Queens, New York, Tom Hurricane Home.
I like how it's something pounds. 170 something.
It's somewhere in the 170s.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through the topics. We have so many good things to talk about. I just can't wait to start on them. And the most amazing one, I ran into a beautiful picture of a mohawk of roses. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Weir. It was the Kentucky Derby this past week, and Johnny Weir wore a hat again for the ages. There is no wonder in my mind as to why he is such a known and loved celebrity.
I consider him an American treasure.
Did you get to see any of what he had to say, or did you just get to see a photo as I did?
I got back late. Really, I just got back in time to watch the race.
Right?
I'd actually had not a race, but a walk of my own. Kate and I were doing the Great Saunter again this year. We didn't make it the full 32 miles because we were a little bit knocked out, but we did make it 20 miles, which allowed us to get
Saunter.
home.
What is this?
Yeah, it's a walk around the perimeter of Manhattan Island.
Oh, wow.
You basically started at the bottom. Now I'm over here. So you walk around the perimeter or the shoreline.
Wow.
So we made it about, almost 2/3, and then we were like, man, we've done it before. We finished it before, and
But that's still nice. Do they do it on a particular day or
the first Saturday of May every year?
First Saturday of May.
Like
And there's
welcome
thousands of
spring.
people who do this?
Maybe 1,500 at most. It's not the most. You'd be surprised how that not a huge amount of people want to walk 32 miles.
That's actually
Yes.
quite shocking to me.
It's about 12 hours to do it all. So.
And it looks
But-
like we have another host that is joining in whenever he sees fit. Mr. Frank Heathington, you can feel free to chime in at your leisure.
Sorry about that.
Don't be sorry.
So
Just be awesome.
happy May to everybody.
Happy May.
Happy May.
May
So-
the people of the world unite or untie.
So forgive me. What have you guys talked about so far?
All we did was Johnny Weir's hat.
Well,
What did What did you think of
Speak-
that?
speaking of Johnny Weir's hat,
Yes.
it was pretty bizarre, was it not?
Yes.
It was wonderful.
And you know what else was bizarre?
No.
The
How
White
bizarre?
Sox Orioles.
How bizarre?
White Sox Orioles game.
That
How
was pretty
was that
bizarre.
game?
That was pretty bizarre. Why was that so bizarre?
So for the first time in Major League Baseball history, dating back, I think 135 years,
Yep, 1909.
was the lowest attendance ever for an MLB game.
Wow.
That being 0.
0 people. Nobody in the casa.
Nobody.
Well, except
in
for the
casa.
players and the photographers and the announcers. But
right, but no paying guests.
So for all international viewers, a couple things. Baseball is a game we play here. It's like cricket, except it makes more sense.
And doesn't take 2 days to continue.
And has had less fatalities in the last 10 years than cricket. So baseball game we play. Usually played in front of a live studio audience. But the reason this one wasn't was because of the ongoing protests in Baltimore over the death in police custody of a man Freddie Gray, and some clashes that took place actually outside the stadium previously.
Wow.
The team elected to play the game, but to an empty stadium.
Wow.
It was an interesting choice. You could criticize, why even play the game at all. Um, but they did. They tried to take the concern of both. I think I'd like to believe that they were taking into consideration both the safety of the fans and the staff, but also the people who might be protesting as well. Since it seems to be the jury's out a little bit of in some of those clashes, who actually was the instigator? Was it protesters, or was it in fact drunk fans
Right.
leaving bars and picking fights?
Got it.
And I implore them to continue with life because life must go on, and ensuring the safety of the fans is something that certainly is important and should be paid attention to. But it's hard. It's very hard to make that call, to figure out how to do the thing without putting everyone's life in danger.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Well, my heart goes out to Baltimore because I have an affinity for Baltimore. I never lived in Baltimore, but I lived in the DC area,
Mm-hmm.
and I consider myself to be a soft Orioles fan. So,
Soft or I like that.
well,
Soft.
I'm an Oriole. If push the wall and ask what's my favorite baseball team, I'll always say the Orioles.
Okay.
But besides Buck Showalter, I'd have trouble naming anyone on the Orioles staff or team.
Wasn't the Wizard of Oz on the Orioles? Oh, you meant current. Okay, got it.
Current. No Cal Ripken Juniors or Billy Ripkins or Cal Ripken Seniors. Yeah, can't do that.
That's hilarious.
Were you thinking Ozzie Smith?
Yeah.
Ozzie Smith, no. Ozzie Smith played for the Cardinals? No.
I thought he was on the Orioles.
No.
I'm terrible at this game.
Yeah,
I'm
you're terrible. But it's okay. It's all
I'm
right. I still love you, man.
I guess. But again, they had a great audience, and there goes Major League Baseball. Finally had a game with no one there. There's quite comical videos to watch on the interwebs, though. If you ever find need, go in and Google it, because you will run into videos of guys throwing balls into the stands with no one there. They will go up and do fake autographs with the guys in the front row, going and getting high fives from everybody in the stands once they caught a ball in outfield.
You know what my favorite video, though, is? Because I don't think you even saw it, is it's actually a video, but it's the audio that's interesting. It's a pitcher who's prepping to hock a loogie, and you can totally hear it's really great. I think they even play it in slow motion, so it's like
and you cannot hear that in a normal baseball stadium.
and it can't. Yeah, and once you've heard it, it can't be unheard. So I warn you. And
So
I apologize.
speaking of what cannot be unheard, there was a fight. There was a fight this past, I guess it was last night. And there was lots of money that changed hands last night around a fight from two guys getting punched in the face over and over. And I still don't understand why people enjoy, want to do. Okay.
Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Okay. That is a rule of Fight Club, to not talk about Fight Club. And that came from a tree.
First rule of podcast is you tell your partners when you're going to use a soundboard.
That's right.
Second rule
is you prepare your co-host for the soundboard.
Yes.
So
yes.
There was a fight, and lots of money changed hands while two guys got beat up. And apparently the guy who got more beat up was everybody's favorite Filipino, right? Is he Filipino?
He is Filipino.
Filipino. Manny Pacquiao got pummeled by the stats.
Yeah, it was a unanimous decision for Floyd Mayweather Jr., who, when he's not winning I think he made $250 million purse is what he received. So when he's not making millions of dollars, he's intensely training, and his
Yes.
training regimen includes, punching bags, sparring with partners, and beating women. So congratulations.
Well, that's
Manny
the best way to
Pacquiao.
get it. Somebody who's running away. That way you get really good at catching them.
God.
Do you realize what Manny Pacquiao's career
soon?
earnings are?
No.
No.
$335 million.
Yeah, but how much did he make for just this fight? 250 million?
Pacquiao's purse was going to
120.
be less. Yeah.
Oh.
No matter what
According
happened,
to Forbes.
no matter what happened, Floyd Mayweather was going to make more money.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was like a 60-40 arrangement or something. It was
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, what I find interesting about this fight was not actually the fight, but the Floyd Mayweather camp that decided to take the credentials of two journalists that were actually going and exploring his misdemeanors against domestic violence. And I don't know if those were reinstated or not for the actual fight, but one of those was, who is it, Jennifer Nichols from CNN, was told, you cannot come because you have an expose on Floyd Mayweather's domestic violence.
Yeah,
And
basically Floyd
it was very-
Mayweather said he's not going to fight if those people are in the room.
Before this fight even began, I've been kind of disgusted and dismayed by some of the whitewashing treatment that's been done. One of them being our favorite one, Stephen A. Smith, who
Yes.
of ESPN, who infamously, and he got suspended for this, infamously a year ago on his show talked about what is a woman's role in not getting
Right.
beat. What does a woman? I understand that you never hit a woman, but we also have to ask, what are women doing that? And it's just like, wow. So he did a lovely.
They're breathing,
fluff
Tom.
piece.
They're breathing, and that's the
they're
problem.
breathing. How dare you? Exactly. So it's been really disgusting, but sadly, it's capitalism, baby. Because the networks are making money off the fight happening. They're making money off of all the pay-per-view. So everyone is kind of. It's like, eat that shit sandwich, or at least take a bite of that shit sandwich, because you're gonna get dessert if you do. And that dessert is the millions and millions and millions of dollars that everyone gets to enjoy.
Yep.
Sad.
Cash money.
Similarly, if we are ready to transition,
Sure.
it's the same thing that people want to take a bite out of that sandwich because of the millions and millions of dollars that come with it. The draft was also
Yes.
this week.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the Full House reunion.
That is a shit sandwich. That
Did that
America
happen,
will.
actually?
They've commissioned a 13
They've commissioned it,
episode
yes,
run.
but it didn't happen,
Yeah.
did it?
Not yet.
Okay.
But more importantly, what did happen in the draft? Now, I will say with the NFL this year, speaking of a $1 billion or $3 billion industry, I was actually kind of happy to see it wasn't at Radio City Music Hall. It was actually in Chicago this round.
Yeah.
And Tom, I think you remember back in this, not even 10 years ago, but the draft used to be, the first and second rounds used to be on a Saturday. And then they went for the rest of the rounds, which is, there's 6 rounds to the draft, right?
I thought it was 3 and 3. I thought it was Saturday was 3 rounds and Sunday was
Maybe
3
you're right.
rounds.
But now
Yeah.
the NFL, because it's such a market or a
Yeah.
capitalistic
Yeah.
just juggernaut, one night, Thursday night, boom, first round. Second night, or second and third was for Friday. And now it's such a huge force. I mean, I guess it's the biggest, most popular sport in America. And now they took it on the road to Chicago, which is amazing to me.
I don't, but I think you're already starting to see the fatigue on it. How many picks before someone was actually there?
And think about it. The first pick was Jameis Winston. who
Wait.
we all
Go back
love.
to let's stay on topic for a second, Frank, or at least stay to what I was talking about, which was this spreading. It's thin. It's become a juggernaut, but I think the wheels are starting to come off. I think I enjoyed personally the almost like orgy of the draft on Saturdays when it was
Right.
like 3 rounds
Right.
and it was intense. Now they've moved to Chicago. Yeah, it's nice that they're moving it around, but your first 2 picks weren't even in the room.
Why
It
weren't they
took-
in the room?
Because people were like, "What's the point? I'd rather party at home with my friends than fly to Chicago and and sit in a
Well,
ring waiting.
the first two picks, I think, Jameis Winston wanted some crab legs in Bessemer, Alabama. And the second pick, whose name escapes me, but
Marcus Mariota.
who is from Hawaii. And personally, I'd rather be in Honolulu.
Well, but think about it this way: if there's only one round, right, and you don't get picked in the first round, then you went down there, spent your entire day, and all the news articles just show pictures of you waiting.
Like,
Right.
Was it Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron
sitting
Rodgers.
and waiting and looking just kind of like, and everyone going, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
Right.
Because he went deep, right? Aaron Rodgers?
He went to like the 18th. He was supposed to be like a 2 or 3 and went all the way to the 18th.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't, if I was unless I was guaranteed top 5
Right.
and already knew and had the call, and
Right.
my agents were already negotiating, why show up? Yeah, hang out with, and risk that embarrassment of sitting and...
That's right.
I would say the most touching moment for me as a football fan was when, in the second round, the previous...
Owambanje Dingjawazi from UCLA got picked by the New York Giants in the third round.
was when
Did that just happen?
Jim Kelly, who had cancer treatments and he was almost predicted to die, came back and he made the choice for the Buffalo Bills as kind of the surrogate out there, and the entire auditorium, probably full of 80,000 people, stood up and clapped and cheered on him. So
Yeah.
That's nice.
Everybody's got to have
nice.
good moments.
And then my most comical was when Ickey Woods came up for the Cincinnati Bengals and decided to do the Ickey Shuffle in front of 80,000 people.
Nice.
So good for that man. Good for him.
Well, that's a lot of good news. Let me share with our listeners a piece of bad news for me. Billy Ball is done. At the University of Florida, there will no longer be any Billy Ball. Billy Donovan has decided that he does no longer want to be involved in the program at the University of Florida, based probably largely on money, but he'll be going to the...
No,
No?
not
I
on
think
money.
he wants to go to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's all about. Yeah, it's not a money thing. It's not a. I mean, he was on track to be. He was going to get paid $4 million annually under his new contract. I don't know what he's going to get paid at his NBA salary. It may
Right,
in fact be
and
a
that's
drop.
out in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
No, I think this is all about that desire to make it in the show, as you know,
In the
as
big
Bull Durham
show.
said, the show. I'm going to the show. It's sad. Sorry to jump in.
Yeah, go. By all means.
That's how I feel about the whole situation.
So,
Okay.
and that's fine emotions to have. I am sad. 19 years he was the basketball coach. Playoffs
It's a good run.
every year except 2, his first and his last. And I think it's two championships, 4 Final Four appearances. He's going to turn 50 this year. He will still be young enough that if he fails in the NFL, he can. Or, excuse me.
He will fail in the NFL, I assure you.
Sorry, I my brain drifted to Spurrier. Because Spurrier
it's
was
the
able
same
to make the attempt, but still wasn't so old that he couldn't come back and pick up a college ball game again.
Yep.
And that could happen to Donovan.
Yep.
And I wish him well. I mean, look, he gave us hardware. He made the program something that I think players want. New facilities.
Yep.
It's more than it's like the whole thing with Florida football. I don't think Florida football can rest on its laurels because our facilities apparently suck compared to the rest of the SEC. But basketball-wise, we have great facilities. We
Right.
have a great tradition and fan base now. So I think
Right.
they'll be able
Where
to get a high
basketball was
caliber.
not ever on the. I mean, what is it, Mike Goff or whatever? That who was it that was the guy that had some winning seasons?
Lon Kruger.
Lon
Who,
Kruger.
Lon Kruger.
And he had some winning seasons, but there was no tradition in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And when Billy Donovan got there and kind of set in and established something, then it's kind of existed, and now people feel like Florida is a school that can be known for basketball.
Okay,
We're
Jeff,
not a Kentucky.
Who is your favorite UF basketball player?
Teddy Dupay.
I
Oh.
was gonna say that too. That's funny.
Wow.
No, who was the player who only had one eye?
Eddie Shannon.
Eddie Shannon, was that who it was?
Yep.
Like
It was
blind.
a guy with only one eye.
Yeah, he was
And
blind
he was
in one
the
eye.
point guard.
Yeah, I don't know how, because how do you play with no
depth
perception?
Yeah.
You literally
My-
have to like judge how big the rim looks and then determine that's the
And to
distance.
Tom's point on Eddie Shannon, not Eddie, yeah, Eddie Shannon, when he got fouled hard and he got so pissed off, he took his eye mask off, slammed it to the coach's table, and then hit a three. One of the finest moments of Florida
His eye
basketball.
mask.
Actually, you know who my favorite Gator ever was?
Who's that?
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown.
Who-
Why is that?
Oh,
It's a
Lord.
joke. He never played. And he was
Ah.
one of the biggest busts ever in the NBA.
Gotcha.
But he was recruited by Florida.
Got it.
Um,
I remember the name.
Kenyon Weeks. Kenyon Weeks was great.
Yeah.
He's now an assistant coach at a small.
Udonis Haslam and Al Horford. And Al Horford's doing real well here in Atlanta.
And Haslam has 3
Championship rings. This year in the NBA, the start of the playoffs, the University of Florida had more collegiate basketball players in that first round than any other university.
Really?
Wow.
That's
and to
that's a
speak,
testament to what we're saying. Yeah.
yeah, and to speak about that, the NBA playoffs are happening right now. Does anyone care? In this room. Do you? Okay.
Well, I do. I like.
Tom says he cares.
I went. I'll admit, I went to my first professional basketball game this year.
Yeah? How was it?
I saw it was great.
Okay.
I went to see the Brooklyn Nets play the Portland Trail Blazers at the new Barclays Center in downtown Brooklyn,
Nice.
and it was fun. It was fun. I saw.
Well, I like the fact that Brooklyn has a team.
Brooklyn's got a winning team. Did they get knocked out? They made it. They backdoored into the playoffs.
Atlanta beat them.
Finally did. Yeah.
Yes.
Sad. They
All right.
they slid it on the last day for that though.
And then apparently there is Gronk going on.
Oh. Folks, if you're looking for something, Mother's Day is coming. This is Tom's Corner where he's going to give a little Mother's Day advice. If you're looking for something to get your mother, and she's the kind of one who likes to read, there's an ebook I highly recommend, especially if they are from the Northeast. It's called A Gronk to Remember, which is a collection of Rob Gronkowski erotica. And as we all know, erotica involving the meathead tight end for the New England Patriots has got to be some great erotica. So remember,
And it's
this
actually
Mother's
a
Day,
Gronking to remember.
Oh, gronking, even better.
A
Oh,
Gronking
it's-
to remember.
Yeah, a gronking. So this Mother's Day, this Mother's Day, make it a gronking Mother's Day.
My whole body quivered with fear like a jello mold on a table as a fat dude walks by it. Okay.
Is that a line from the book?
That's literally a line from the book. That's like on the back cover.
50 Shades ain't got nothing on this.
Wow.
Apparently, it was written as it's satire and parody, which makes it even better. I think someone looked at 50 Shades and was like, "Man, if this can make money."
The Amazon
Anything.
reviews are almost as insane as the book itself. There's basically a motivational poster that says, "I can't read this book without making noises."
It's a grunking good time.
What? Spike me. What? Spike me, Daniel says through the goalposts of life. What? Like Gronk does? What? Do you want me to Gronk like, do to me what Gronk does to a football? What? Here on the bed? I'm going to say it again. What?
Oh, it's so
Past
perfect.
and present desire and deception, loyalty and temptation. The
Oh, man.
scoundrel's flame.
Oh man, I'm
Well,
feeling a grunk coming on.
Yeah, yeah.
you know what? That makes me almost as excited as Bernie Sanders running for president.
That has nothing to do with sport.
Yep. Nothing to do with sports whatsoever.
Somehow make it into a sports metaphor, and we'll let you.
Yep. Sports
roll with it,
metaphor.
Frank.
Make it happen.
Because Bernie Sanders is the Baltimore Orioles to your Hillary Clinton New York Yankees.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. I'd have to see the records. Maybe you want to say it's Toronto Blue Jays to. I mean, I like that you're staying within the division. That was good.
Right.
But maybe say like Bernie Sanders is the Toronto Blue Jays to our Red Sox Yankees. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Hey, did you know that Bernie Sanders, who I always want to say Bernie Williams, that's sports reference.
Yeah.
I keep saying Bernie Williams in my head when I think of him. Did you know that he recorded a folk album that's available on cassette?
What?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders has a folk record. It's perfect.
So he plays an instrument.
Later, I bring to you Gronkowski. This is the man that gave that pussy a gronking to remember. I don't know how else I can say it.
Oh my God.
The
Oh,
wheels have fallen off the wagon.
The wheels
Yeah.
have fallen off. And ladies and gentlemen, that probably should make it to where we don't make it any worse.
Time to
So
circle the
in
wagon.
an effort to make it no worse, we will go ahead and end for the week. Because you don't have to think about Gronkowski the way that I think about Gronkowski.
And you don't have to think about Grunking and Gronkowski the way that I think about Grunking and Gronkowski.
Frank?
Gronk?
But we're going to ask that you come back here and think about things. And if you want, join us. Let's hang out.